feel the harmony which connects each of you within this room.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
We can.
It would be appropriate that at the beginning of each meeting that your awareness becomes more alive to what is happening amongst you.
Yes.
It will help each one of you in your individual development if you were to partake in this simple exercise.
Yes, we'll do that each time we sit. Together, I mean.
Even when you are not joined together as in this room, you can feel the connection to one another if you so desire. Each one of you, as I have told you before, have many spiritual capabilities, but it is entirely open to each of you whether you develop these gifts or not. I can tell you that you are capable of many things, but if you do not use these things to your best advantage, there is nothing that we can do to change you. You understand?
Yes. We're free will again.
Yes.
We have to put in the work ourselves.
Yes. I believe there is a saying in your world that anything of great value needs to be worked for.
Yes.
And I would suggest that that is quite an apt saying for you.
Yes. It's up to each and every one to rise to the challenge.
Yes. The abilities are there to be used. And remember that you must ask for our help. We always stand by you, but we will not interfere. It is just a gentle reminder, my dear friends, of what you can and should achieve.
It's nice to have that encouragement. Thank you.
Yes, I know.
What we do not wish to do is to seem to bring to you instruction of what you must do, because the best development comes from within. There is so much love within this room, this evening. I do hope that you can sense and feel what is round and about you. It is not always so, but this time there is much that is being given to you, as well as your input to us. It always is a two-way. I almost said challenge, but that is not strictly true.
Yes, we thank our friends for their love.
Yes, it is time for you to think about those words, and for each of you to decide which of those spiritual gifts you will use for much better use than you already have. If only I could show you your colors and your light, then you would have a much wider picture.
I think we already consider ourselves very fortunate to be having so much connection, which seems to be increasing all the time. We do appreciate all who contribute.
We are always humbled by your words, my dear friend. But may I remind you that without your dedication, these meetings could not take place. You are emissaries of spirit, this you know. But what I wish to bring to you now, after our acquaintance of some time, is that now the time is ripe for each one of you to develop as individuals. But that decision is yours. But the help is there. The help is available to you. We will discuss a little, but I would like this time a little of the time available to work once again with this instrument. And as always, when I am working quietly, I will leave you all in the capable hands of our dear lady friend. So, this time, have we some discussion?
Would you like us to go back to your last talk about thought?
I have been waiting for you to bring it to the surface. Yes. Whatever you wish to discuss, I am willing to answer and to listen.
Well, yes, I would say for myself, thoughts that have rebounded back on myself. I could probably think of quite a few incidences where I had maybe not very good thoughts about someone, and then felt quite miserable myself, so I imagine that would be the thought affecting me, would it?
The very fact that you have come to that conclusion shows that your thinking time has been devoted to something that instinctively you know to have been unkind. That is a good point.
Yeah.
But we will hear what the others have to say before I make final comment.
Thank you, George.
Yes, well, I haven't any very firm ideas about this, but I think we were talking about what happens to the thoughts that, shall we say, are not targeted, and I'm still not clear in my mind how those are finally processed. I'm really happy that the good thoughts have a good effect generally as regards their target and as regards the person thinking those good thoughts. And I think there's a general aura of the world becoming a better place as the result of thinking good thoughts. And the reverse can possibly happen.
May I interrupt you briefly? The opposite may not possibly happen. It does. Energy is positive and negative.
Yes.
Remember.
So
there is no possibility it does happen.
Yes. So, as individuals, we have the choice to feed good energy into the system or to feed bad energy into the system.
That indeed, my dear friend, is your responsibility.
Yes.
And indeed, it is a responsibility that needs to be recognized.
Right, you, Sarah.
I haven't quite been with it, just as asked. My life, I've done things that I'm not desperately proud of. I don't know how much that's been from rebounded thought, and how much it's just a case of growing up feeling guilty and trying to make good. Maybe the guilty feelings have been impressed upon me and made me do good, but I don't know if it was the rebounded thoughts that made me do things that I perhaps wouldn't do now. At that time, I don't know. But certainly since you've told us we should never judge and you shouldn't have bad thoughts, I have tried not to, and if any have crept in, tried to quash them. So from this point onwards, I hope I'm going on a better course than perhaps I have done in the past.
And with that understanding and that recognition, you should find that throughout the continuation of your physical living, that less rebounded thought will have an effect upon your life.
Oh, right. Okay.
But it is the recognition and the acceptance of responsibility which will make the difference.
Okay.
Yes, we can have a mixture of thoughts in relation to bad news received. And one comes to your teaching that one should not judge in that case, and that thought seems to be a wonderful salve for not being drawn into the trap of bad thinking.
Yes.
And interpreting news as bad news.
Yes.
Because it isn't always. We think it is, and then often later we look back and realise that it wasn't necessarily, but we interpreted it.
Yes,
as bad news.
my dear friends, it is indeed your interpretation of what is bad. And as I have told you often throughout our acquaintance, that you do not see the fuller scheme of life. You do not know or understand the workings of one's spirit, or are able to judge the happenings that go on within your world. It is not an easy thing for mankind to be able to detach from criticism. It is part of the human form. But I say to you, it is possible. Again, with recognition and acceptance of responsibility. It can take place, and in so doing, you also become better human beings. The vessels which you are begin to shine forth that light from within. And that is our purpose here on your planet, that each and every individual first shines forth with that light of great love and understanding. I cannot stress this to you all strongly enough.
Can I just say something? In work situations, it's quite common to feel more of an affinity with one or two members. But on days when I have consciously projected love towards all of my colleagues and maybe students as well, I have experienced a really elevated feeling of walking in love and light, and it's tremendous. I don't always remember to do it, but when I have done it, I know that it's possible to receive back good feelings from everybody, whether or not I normally experience such a natural affinity.
You are experiencing rebounded thought.
Yes.
You have said and explained the question which I have put to you all. If that thought is of love, you will feel the benefit of those rebounded thoughts. And in the same way that those thoughts of negative energy are discharged, so they will come back to you in some form. That is rebounded thought. Think carefully each time you send those energy thoughts out into the ether. Think
that's clarified it very much. Yeah. I just had the thought it would have been wonderful to have been aware of this when I was at school. About all these thoughts. I couldn't detach then. But detaching is one of the important keys, I guess, as you said.
The important issue here is not what has gone by in time. The problems begin when you realize that negative energy exists and still you allow it to happen.
Yes.
You are human, but now, my dear friends, you also have knowledge of spirit. Therefore, your responsibility towards yourselves and all of humankind is much greater. That is what you must take aboard and think about and dispel those negative thoughts at their source.
Yes. Could I say that I'll just say this, there has been some disappointing news about Sai Baba, who has been revered as an avatar by many. And, well, the news of his behaviour was disappointing to many. But I think the answer there is that he is human as well, and simply we should not judge the matter. I don't know if you... I think that connects with something we were saying earlier, but I think it's an example of where we should simply not judge, even if one hears something disappointing of one who has been revered as an avatar. Have you any comment there?
I am happy to make comment. You speak of one whose name has become well known in your world. We have spoken of this individual before.
Yes.
And yes, you do not have the wider picture. All of you, my dear friends, possess the gifts of spirit, because after all, you are spirit. Mm-hmm. There are individuals in your world whose gifts are much greater. But being within the human frame presents many problems for some. I feel, mention but a few. That is the ego, which belongs to the human form. Mm-hmm. Materialism, which belongs to the human form. False adulation, which belongs to the human form. But what you are not discussing is the amount of love that was given and shown towards this one human being that helped to change the lives of many. Yes. Mm-hmm. So therefore, again, we are looking at the positive and the negative of the situation. Mm-hmm. And yes, my answer to you all is do not judge.
Yes.
The only one who is being fooled is that one individual who, when he returns to our world, will face himself. But there has been a sea of love for many years that has built. Wrongly, you may say, but again that is judgment.
Yes.
But if you could see that pool of love, then you would have a different picture. Is that helpful to you?
Yes. Yes. I was asked to ask the question of you, and I'm sure that will clarify. Thank you.
On the flip side of that, you have said to us that we shouldn't have taken another person's life. So those people who are taking the lives of others, you can't help but think that's wrong. And there must be they are creating an awful lot of negative, bad thought in those actions, apart from the fact that perhaps they're doing something they shouldn't do. There are a lot of people who are feeling badly towards them because of that. So that's it's very difficult not to think. You give them love because you feel they're doing wrong, but it's very difficult to think that I feel that they're doing wrong because you said that no lives should be taken. So that's a difficult one.
But that is not for you to judge.
No.
You have not reached the point of forgiveness if you can make the statement that you have. That is not for you to make any kind of judgment. You do not know what lies within the hearts and minds of any individual. You do not know the conditions which surround such things. But of course, it is never right in the sense that we understand of taking another's life. But again, I stress to you, that is not for us to judge.
No.
So always you must, with your thoughts, change them from one.
Isn't it unrealistic of us to expect perfection from anyone who walks this earth?
This planet can never be perfection as you know it at this time.
Yeah, this is one thing I often say to people who are critical of spiritual pathways. I just say, why do you expect perfection from any one pathway or anyone who is advocating something? We don't have to.
You are here as individuals to learn of that great word, love.
I do know that you have also said to us, I always bear in mind when things like killings happen, that you have said to us that if you believe strongly that what you're doing is right, then how wrong is it?
You can never make judgment on a wide scale. That brings many difficulties. But each individual who comes to our world has to face all decisions that have been made by them. They have to see that spirit as it truly is. Only then will there be recognition of what has been done in love and what has been done with negative energy.
Yes.
That is what in traditional religions is called the Judgment Day.
That's right. And we have an expression, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
I am not aware of that one.
Don't throw away what is good
Yes,
with what is not good. You
yes,
don't.
I accept the meaning of the saying, but that is a new saying for me.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will keep that one.
It's actually very ludicrous to really take one error and say that the person's life was worthless or meaningless.
Again, that is making judgment, is it not?
Yes.
Yes. Are there more questions, or shall we leave you with our dear lady friend to see what continues for this evening, whilst I continue to work with this instrument?
Yes, that's what I do.
I know, my dear friends, that when you leave here this evening, there will be a feeling of great upliftment. Because the love within this room this evening is of such a degree as I have not felt before.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to thank everybody in this room who has helped come through what I've been through just lately, and I'm very grateful for all your prayers. Thank you.
One time to come to you with all these figments. I am being helped to come to you with much help. But had to make this transition this time. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. Yes.
I have been told this one will be looked after. If her voice or head is afterwards, she is to get some healing.
Yes, we make sure.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to say thank you for allowing me to come with such terrible disfigurement.
It's a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to
Pleasure to have you.
Well, you do know you don't have the
Yeah.
disfigurement of the Spirit.
But it's necessary one time,
I see.
this time, and I had
She won't mind.
I was responsible for her voice.
I see. When you go back, you'll be able to move forward, will you?
I am going to help people like me to come to people like you.
That's good.
Yes, perfect. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we give disabled people a thought when they sit quietly.
I hope my condition has not distressed you too much.
Not at
Not
all.
at all.
No, I'm pleased that you felt you could come to us.
We'll make sure the lady you're using is fine when you come back to spirit.
I've been told she'll be well looked after, but just in case, because it can't be comfortable for her.
Can you tell us your name?
I was called Joseph.
Hello, Joseph.
Hello, Joseph.
I was referred to as it sometimes,
Oh dear. Oh, yeah, that wasn't nice.
but I'm not concerned about that now.
No. No.
I have got to go now, but I just feel that a big step has been taken for lots of people.
Oh, that's very good.
Very kind of you.
And we're glad you came and said hello to us.
Yes, I don't know your names, do I? But it feels nice here.
Oh, thank you.
Good.
Come again.
I will never come back again like this.
No.
It served purpose this time.
Yes.
But
You don't need to.
no, and it's most uncomfortable.
Oh, sorry.
So
So we'll say goodbye and thank you for coming.
And let you be rid of that body again.
yes, I don't need it
No.
anymore.
No, you
No.
don't.
No?
So like he was leading the way for others there.
Yes, that's good.
Mm.
I was just thinking when you hear him talking like that, all focused on being on himself.
No.
Referred to his
Can't
head.
imagine it.
I was watching a bit of the Paralympics today and thinking, yeah, it's moved on, hasn't it?
Oh, certainly
Very
has.
much, yeah.
Certainly has. Yes, I don't think in this country anybody would ever be treated like that now.
No.
Some countries I think still, but not this one.
That's a very nice idea, that Paralympics.
Do you think that was the Joseph Merrick the elephant now.
Oh, might have been. Yes. Might have been. That would have been.
Because I think that just Merrick had terrible speech problems amongst many other problems.
And there was breathing problems to start.